On my right, and always the political left, Ogie Overman is with us. Our special guest is Rosemary Flybein, the great broadcaster. And she's so sweet off camera. I said to her earlier, I said, Rosemary, I have a crush on you. She said, back off, Granddad. It was a special moment for me. And the guy I really respect and admire for his community service, David Daggett, is filling in for Keith. Okay, here we go, guys. Greensboro Mayor Nancy Vaughn is proposing a special 1% prepared food tax, which she says the city needs. It will net millions of dollars in revenue. Would you mind paying an extra 1% when you dine out or buy fast food, Ogie?
Well, we tried that about 20 years ago to try to attract a Major League ball, to build a Major League ball. It failed miserably then, and that was something tangible. This is something intangible. I don't think it's going to pass at all.
All right, Rosemary.
I don't know, but I know that I'm going to be cooking spaghetti at home on Monday nights, Taco Tuesday, chicken on Wednesday.
Yeah, so you're doing the preparing, so your family ought to pay you the 1%.
Good idea.
It seems like cities are in a financial pinch right now, and they have to find a way to relieve that pinch.
Right.
I'm personally not necessarily opposed to this. I worry how it affects the lower socioeconomic people,
Right.
and I would not want to hurt them.
All right, in Washington, House Republicans are proposing to raise the retirement age for receiving Social Security benefits. They say this will keep people working longer, of course, and paying taxes longer, which they say will keep the Social Security system solvent. Guys, are you okay with raising the retirement age for collecting Social Security, Ogie?
That's a typical Republican bad idea yet again.
Don't
Never
like it.
happened. No.
Rosemary.
I think something has to be done to make sure that Social Security lasts for people, and people are getting older and not saving as much as they should for retirement.
Yeah, because you're still very young, and there might not be a system for you.
Right,
But
right.
David, what do you think?
I'm not very young. But things have changed. And I think all of our retirement systems need to be reevaluated. Life expectancy used to be 69, 70 years old. That's
Right.
not the case anymore. I'm not assuming that this isn't the right answer, but I don't think we patch the road. I think we evaluate, straighten the curves, and rebuild the whole highway in a way that is feasible going forward into the future.
All right, legislators in the state of New York are proposing to decriminalize adultery because they say that 1907 law is just too antiquated. We have a similar situation in North Carolina. Here, adultery is still a crime punishable by up to 60 days in jail. You think someone should go to jail for committing adultery, Ogie?
There's a lot of antiquated laws on your books still, and this is one of the worst. I mean,
That's bad.
Pathetic, yeah.
What do you think? It's a crime here in North Carolina. You go to jail for 60 days.
Well, if it were my husband, yes, he should go. I mean, if that's what you're asking me. Yeah, it does seem outdated, but not for him.
I personally am not going to go to jail.
Right.
However, I think it's an antiquated law. The civil justice system takes care of domestic issues. We don't need the criminal law for this.
All right. An appellate court has ruled that cigarette packaging must include graphic images of people who've been diseased or left disfigured because of smoking cancer. Tobacco companies are going to appeal this by claiming that the requirement violates their First Amendment rights because they need the space on the packages for branding and messaging. Are you okay with requiring the display of graphic warnings like that on packs of cigarettes, Ogie?
Well, I'm certainly not taking up for the tobacco companies on this, but still, that's almost too much. I mean, people know by now.
Too graphic.
There's enough stuff on TV of people breathing through tubes and dying at 47.
Well, this is probably going to stay then. I mean, I don't think they're going to win the appeal. What do you think? Really graphic stuff should be on there?
I mean, I'm with Ogie. I mean, again, not trying to side with tobacco companies, and I definitely think that the messaging has to get out there, and they're doing that, and they're on the packaging, and as he said, the commercials, and we all know better.
Yeah.
We should know better now.
I agree with both of them, but for a different reason. The person that buys a pack of cigarettes is probably already addicted to cigarettes, and that's not what you're trying to do through this. How about putting that same money into a program to help people who are addicted to cigarettes? Right. A better direction with those funds, I think, would be more appropriate.
All right, while most hate speech is protected, it is a hate crime if that speech threatens violence, which is what Michelle Morrow did when she posted tweets about Obama and Biden saying they should be publicly executed. She's a Republican nominee for state superintendent of public instruction. Very quickly, guys and gals, should she be charged with a hate crime? Ogie.
Typically, I would say no. This woman is a lunatic.
She's
That's
way out
not
there.
only, she said stuff worse than that. She's in the Mark Robinson camp of idiocy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what it takes, something has to be done.
Yeah, Dave.
I don't think it's a hate crime. Hopefully, voters will weigh in and issue a judgment on this.
All right, finally, in this election year, I'm reminded of a Pew Research poll which said that 43% of Democrats refuse to date a Republican and 24% of Republicans refuse to date a Democrat. Guys and gals, did you ever date a person who belonged to a political party opposite from yourself, Ogie?
Years ago, I may have had a one-night stand with a Republican. But it was over after that.
Good. And Rosemary might be your daughter. All right, so what? Have you ever dated somebody?
I don't even know. I've been with my husband since college, and anybody I dated before that, I don't even know what party
David,
they were part
I'm
of.
very happily married, thank you.
Well, we know that.
Yeah, me too.
So you haven't strayed politically.
I'll take the fifth.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have.